Yes. Uh-huh. This is Krem from back at the zinc fence. Krem, Baga Maru, Daransu Wait. Krem Radio, your big chillin' station. I'm a GSC Arzu. This is the music of Len Cayetano off his CD titled Ibagare, Portraits of Garifuna Life Cycle in Song. In studios with me is Amandala publisher and Krem Radio chairman, Evan X. Hyde. Good morning, X. Buite Benafi.
Buite Benafi. Good morning, my brother. Never did you go on like you could speak Garifuna, and I'm not really sure you can. Can you?
No. I had Garifuna all my life, but colonialism interfere with my being very fluent in Garifuna.
Yeah, and I need to tell our listeners that you have various plants in the studio. Where can you be specific what you have? It adds a great cultural flavor to the studio.
What I have sugar cane.
I should have known that.
And cassava.
Okay.
Or yuga. It's a product where cassava bread, reba, get made out of.
Okay.
They have multiple types. You have the ones were used specifically to make cassava or reba, and then you have the one where you cook and eat directly.
Okay, the ground food.
Yes. Well, both are ground food, but the one used for making cassava, you must remove the poisonous fluids from it.
I was just going to ask about that.
So that's the one.
There's a process involved there.
Yes, an extensive process. Garifuna food production is labor intensive. It's always been labor intensive, and since the 90s, when I play Garifuna music on the radio, I've always wanted to see a Garifuna restaurant in Belize City, but
of course,
given the labor intensity involved with producing the food, the price could maybe be too high.
I want to say something in that line, right?
Okay.
No, maybe maybe I never know, but I never hear about hudut inside Belize City.
Mm-hmm.
And when I became the president of UBAD in probably late March, early April 1969, Charles X. Egan, we knew him as Justice, right?
Justice, yeah.
He was the first member of the Nation of Islam to start preaching in Belize around about the time of Hurricane Hyde, either just before, just afterwards.
Okay.
But in any case, he said, as soon as I became the president, he said, well, you talk about Africa, you want to know about Africa? Let's go with me. And as soon as he got to, well, it was Stan Crichton at the time.
Correct.
In April 69. And I don't know where he knew the Velasquez family from, but he immediately made, I don't know what that word I use. He made arrangements for hudut to be prepared, because that's all he started talking about with the land. Now, all Creole people know about hudut, but nobody ever knew about hudut 1969. Nobody ever knew about that. In fact, listen to me. We were so, and I hate to interrupt you, but a lot of memories come flooding back, right? I hate to interrupt you, but you know that when we were young, they grew up in Belize. Fish was considered like one inferior dish compared to chicken and say cow meat and so that until when the superior people start to tell we that fish that the highest possible, the best deliverer of protein to the system, that people who eat fish that, but then there's the fish meat cheap and readily available.
Very, very readily available.
The seas were teeming, but that your trip may have pana food talking right there. But hudut, you were saying that because of the labor intensity, you wouldn't really have a Garifuna restaurant. I can't figure out why there's not a Muslim restaurant. I know you say a Garifuna restaurant, just that they have to charge a little bit higher, you know.
Yes.
You know, Cadel Flowers died, right?
Yeah, that was last week.
Yeah, and we never did do nothing in the papers or nothing, so I want to give maximum respect. But yeah, we have to Cadel. Fabulous food and it charged too cheap.
Oh, that we got.
You know, he give you this beautiful. Remember, he was at the commercial market.
Yeah, it was in the commercial market right where the restaurant.
But
I forget the restaurant name. Tony Wright used to give up meals from there because they occupied the space after Cadell had left.
Oh, Tony Wright?
Yeah.
The Belizean artist first.
Yeah. There was a restaurant that took over that space after Cadell left.
Okay.
I don't remember what the restaurant name. The restaurant, after a few years, moved to Victoria Street, and now it appears to have closed.
But that's a challenge to Garifuna entrepreneurs to open a Garifuna restaurant in the largest population center. Where you have all these cruise ships and so on. But you have to charge. You have to charge. You can't gateway.
So that's what that's what make Cadell had to left, because he came in earnest and really wanted to get the restaurant business up and running and keep it going.
But he had high quality food. But the survival of the Garifuna people was under the most extreme of circumstances that humanity can endure, and cassava was a food in Urume in St. Vincent.
Yes.
So they brought it along on the
it's a food with a very long shelf life once you've turned it into ereba or cassava.
You saw Jerry Enriquez's article where we are seeing like the people that he showed that were preparing cassava were they look they're not black Caribs, but they have the Carib culture.
So
they are the yellow Caribs or something like that.
Correct. Yeah. You have them in South America, in Venezuela, Brazil.
I'd say seemed amazed at the identical nature of the food culture.
Yes, they still use cassava. Cassava is a staple diet for them, and they produce it and prepare it identical to how Garifuna people do. I've seen this numerous times on Bible TV. That's what drew my awareness to the similarities in food preparation there to the Garifuna people, who do it wherever Garifuna people are. I presume they don't get to do it in California, but who knows? Given that some stores do sell cassava products, but I guess the cassava they probably sell is the one that's not poisonous, that you're not able to make cassava out of.
Because, but in every major city in America last night and today, I imagine that there are celebrations going on because the Garifuna community is compact and conscious.
Yeah, pretty much. Len texts me occasionally, and him and his wife Joycelyn have elected to take today off.
But you know how it used to be before the holiday was given? No. After the holiday was given, let's see. It was confined to Toledo and the Stan Creek districts.
Yeah.
And so before and it was the PUP, enough respect to them, who made it a national holiday. Garifuna people in all the other districts went settlement day.
Settlement day, when I grew up.
And he left the seed, headed south.
Yeah, the 60s, transportation, primarily by boat, and I vividly recall excursions that come from Livingston and Honduras.
La
Buga with a Batamiligi, a big band, just playing music, Garifuna music as they come, and then parade to Favorita on Clement Street and jam and celebrate all day. Those days, the hosting community provide meals and accommodations, because those excursions also went to Dangriga.
I don't know if you to get my point, but the people who are left in job, they risk losing their job, their needs, But I don't think.
Check out Rita May last night, right? Rita May made a debate to herself as to what her job apparently when Sanang goes to a play or something. She see the play already and she very reluctant to go, but as if she must go or some such thing. So I don't know if she actually did go. She didn't want to go.
I mean, last though, who that Rita May?
Rita May Bannett.
Over in California.
Yes.
You say that OGSC are for full in the Bronx, man. Don't do me that.
Sorry.
Yeah. So.
But Los Angeles have a huge Garifuna community. We're extremely active because I saw a video online where I think the video ran nearly 2 hours, and this video pretty much portrayed Jankuno going from house to house in California, and doing the Jankuno dance, exclusively Wanaragua. I think this video was shot maybe 2011 or maybe a little bit earlier, but I just see it earlier this year.
But the near-death experience of the Garifuna on the move from St. Vincent to Belize,
I find that
has made it that intensity of spiritual experience has been expressed in the music and art and the vibes of the Garifuna Day. Is for us as outsiders, right? This that's like the same way how the white people in America used to, when they bring somebody with and say this have soul, Michael Bolton and they used to have Duoni and the Righteous Brothers.
Oh yeah, and Michael took that song.
And then they're supposed to got soul, but then hard for have that real spirituality if you know experience something where we create that, you know. So
the next best thing is simply being able to empathize. The thing is that the Chagosians from Diego Garcia experienced an identical experience, except it happened to them in the 1970s, late 60s into the 70s. Britain and the U.S. moved them from the Diego Garcia Island so that the U.S. could build this huge base. The thing is that many of those people died of pure sadness. John Pilger, I think it is. He did that story.
They have a video too.
Yes,
but I didn't remember the I guess when they were transplanted, right? But the incredible thing is that it is the Garifuna who were deported who have kept the culture alive compared to the people in St. Vincent. The culture was trampled down there. They don't speak Garifuna in St. Vincent.
No,
as a matter of fact, they're trying to learn it
right now.
Renew it, yeah.
There is a St. Vincent woman, Tricia St. Hill. She lives in the New York area, who works closely with James Lovell and a number of other Garifuna individuals who, excuse me, have what they call Yuga Cure, Yurume cultural retrieval, carrying back the Garifuna language, music, food, and dance to St. Vincent. And they wind up teaching students for a couple of weeks, and then concluding annually with a show to present to the St. Vincent people, the Yurume people, trying to retrieve the culture to St. Vincent. They lost it completely, indeed.
Did the Garifuna have the Dogo rituals and so on? Did that come all the way from St. Vincent, or was that developed in?
I want to think that it came all the way from St. Vincent.
Because then, if you think about it, there are individual peoples of all, individual humans of all from all over the world have had near-death experiences, but then here we are looking at a group that went through this experience, and so the Dogo is, from the outsider's viewpoint, is a reflection of a spiritual approach to life which does not differentiate that much between life and death, or at least creates the possibility of an acceptance of their relationship to each other.
Yeah, Dugu is...
Have you ever participated in a Dugu?
Not directly. I've been to some, and my family has had some, and my contributions have most recently have been financial to the Dugu.
But isn't the Dugu, and I put you on the spot now, to my mind, you have to give up your consciousness to participate fully. Your logic.
Yeah.
You have to become spiritualized.
Yes. Because during that event, there are several individuals attending who actually lose consciousness for all intents and purposes, and just get lost in experience.
They not say you got two sides of the brain.
Yes, left and right.
So when we look at African religions in Haiti and Cuba,
yes,
the religion becomes a purgative cleansing experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're very, very similar in that regard.
Yes.
Very similar, because it includes a significant amount of offerings to the ancestors.
Yes.
Food or meals are prepared, and then those are offered to the ancestors, family members who've passed on, and who actually Jerry describes it very, very clearly in his articles to the paper. Jerry and I
He's
are
now
neighbors.
in Belize City, right?
Yeah.
You have to bring on Pan Radio, JC. Yeah.
Actually, he got me on the radio, I believe.
In the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, but bring Jerry. Jerry need his own radio show, but because, newspaper is alright, but nothing like the electronic media to make immediate the point you're trying to get across, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think Jerry will write on a book.
He does good stuff. It's beautiful stuff that he's doing.
I part of my neighbor. We grew up on the same block. Our yards meet at diagonal, so like this yard and the one in the corner right there.
Yeah.
And we got in the same primary school and whatnot. His dad was a photographer, the town's photographer.
His grandfather was the teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
And his father was also a translator in court. Yeah.
But you got enough clout where you could get Jerry one radio show, but you the play. But
well, I work on it.
Yes, but because I'm sure then you have with the telephone facility where listeners could question about the articles and get the because for instance the material about home food production that vital to it, and then he has that knowledge and experience.
Yeah, he has the knowledge, experience, and phenomenal memory. Because take for instance a historian on Pal Nabor and the Snow White and Mr. No. My aunt who died in 2011 was one of those singers, Celia Martinez, Charles Martinez's wife. You may know him, the former era rep who belonged to the PUP at that time. And Mamaya Nunes, who these are individuals I know very intimately, but had forgotten some of those details. His story on musicians again, because Jerry was a musician. I remember him going for piano lessons at the seaside with Miss Tilla and Miss Aviles.
In those days, Punta was remote.
Indeed.
But when you get Nature, Maya Prince, you left the money, you get
the following
when
day.
The sun set. Well, the following day. No.
Yeah.
I went to the 60s.
I used to come in the 60s into the early 70s. I used to come almost every summer because my dad, Philip Arzu, was a purser on those boats.
Okay.
And we'd left.
We have to stop there every village.
Yes.
Every pint. Every pint.
Well, it was my good thing for me to stop by Punta Negra and Placencia and get cashews and other food products.
Okay.
And that day I pretty much say the red cashew in abundance, because they have the red ones and the yellow ones.
Well, I want to get back to.
And when we get to Belize City, the following morning, really.
Okay.
Morning time, we always reach Belize City.
Well, I'll pressure you upon again.
Okay.
We assume that it was important for the oppressor when he saw any sparks of African-based religion to stamp that out, because that's an energizing reality besides being a way of communicating. Anything already or no, just tell me.
Sure.
Yeah. So the decision by the Roman Catholic faith to integrate syncretism or something they call it, to accept elements of the indigenous religion which were a little bit controversial for Europeans, was a decision that has a bountiful harvest for the church, insofar as being able to tap into the talented Garifuna teachers, priests, and so on. At the same time, it was a very progressive decision because it made respectable elements that the more European segments of the population would have considered, well, some kind of demonics or something like that, you know. Because way back in the days, it was all about the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus, you know.
Yeah, and in pretty.
You're a Methodist, though.
Who, me?
Well, no. I don't want to get you that no problem. But you were raised in a Methodist family.
No, I wasn't. I was raised in a Catholic family.
TV Ramos was a Methodist, though.
Yes.
Yep.
He was. I wasn't. I grew up in a household that subscribed to the Catholic faith.
Okay.
And so I attended a Catholic primary school, and I started Catholic high school, and dropped out in first form.
In Punta Gorda, you had Peter Claver already?
Well, yeah, Peter Claver has
I
been around.
You know, JC.
Yeah.
Peter Claver never did when I got a PG 64.
Well, I don't know when Peter Claver started, but a lot of the people I know attended Peter Claver and graduated from St. Peter Claver, and I attended.
I say you're a young boy to me, JC.
Yeah, I know. About 14 or 15 year difference. I can see you up on the phone.
Yes,
you can say a couple of words, please.
I'm along with JC Arzu in studio waiting for the broadcast.
Well, the broadcast is about to begin because that's Anthony Grant.
Okay, my brother.
Well, thanks for the stop by.
Well, it's my pleasure every time.
Yes,
okay.
Well, hopefully, talk to you again for Christmas, next public and bank holiday, right?
Christmas.
Funny.
Christmas. No, I do 3 holidays. 10th of September.
October.
We don't even talk Carlo Columbus business. October the 12th. I settlement. Yeah, so I fulfill my annual requirements.
Well, thanks for the stop by.
Yes, man.
Publisher at Amandala and chairman of the board of Krem Radio, Hyde, at GSC Arzu.